This is Sports Inside and Out. Legends of Sports, the voice of Legends of Sports. When legends speak, people listen. Now, here's your host, the coach, Chuck Hatcher.
All right, this is Sports Inside and Out, Legends of Sports, and we're back, and thank you for letting us be a part of your sports day with the news you can use from those that help make the game. That's right, Sports Inside and Out, the only place that you can hear from those that help the game of professional sports and sports at large, all the way from the genesis to where we are now. That's right. Hey, listen, we got it. So much has been going on over the summer, and a lot of terrible energy vibes that's going around. And, sports is the only thing that we can drive in that could be the neutralizer of so many things as we always talk about. And nobody else could do it better than one of the greatest Hall of Fame guards of any team in the NBA, one of the leaders of the top team in the first 35 years, or the greatest team in the top 35 years of the NBA, the Philadelphia 76ers, the only guard that's really was the point guard for 6 of the greatest NBA centers in history, a feat that's not ever been done and probably won't be done again. We got him. He called the Wali Wonder Man. Love him to death. Hey, Wally, what's up and what's going on, man? What's happening?
Well, Coach, it's good to hear you. And one of the important things we talk about, I heard you mention about being one of the top guards, but the Retired Players Association sent me a list up, and they were talking about the NBA Finals. And the list includes, of course, Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas. You think of Dennis Johnson, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West. But I saw Jamal Murray from Denver, and it has Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who I think is one of the top players in the NBA. And I like the new faces, but I was fortunate enough to be on that list of 12 point guards that averaged 20 points in the finals.
Yeah.
And so when the retired players sent it to me, of course, I felt good about it, being a part of a group like that. Tony Parker's on that list. Right. I don't want to miss just 12 ball players that average 20 points in the finals. And Coach, I wanted to talk to you in reference to the new faces that we got in the NBA. You don't see the LeBrons in the finals, or Doncic, or guys of that nature, even the Boston Celtics, but to see 2 young players like Halliburton and Gilgeous-Alexander is just exciting to me, Coach. That's why I was excited about the NBA, because there were different teams in the finals and new talent. New talent, Coach.
Well, it was almost like it was a smorgasbord. What we thought the league was, it seemed like it was the changing of the guard again, Wally. Changing of the guard again, because these young boys are coming out with pretty much of a good a basketball IQ.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, tremendous basketball. And what I liked a lot was OKC played the same way, and they actually broke our record, Coach. We were 68-13, and of course they added another game, but they were 68-14, and they were the best defensive team all year. So I counted on them being young, but I like the way Indiana Pacers competed. They got some young ball players too, Coach, that can play some basketball.
My partiality, I was drafted in the old ABA by Indiana, so our partiality is there. But when we talked to OKC, we had a lot of great, but OKC, man, I mean, it's about dude. They were right there at the precipice. So many seasons, man. They were right there at it with 2 of the great combinations, or three-prong combinations in basketball. But they never got over that hump. But now it seems like that I would call it a new thinking IQ. It's almost like y'all have gone back to Rutgers and got up a new generation of hardcore thinking guards. Yeah,
that's true. The whole team well coached, and I like the way he used so many ball players.
Right.
And I believe with an 82-game schedule, I may get off the subject, but an 82-game schedule, Coach. The wear and tear of the NBA schedule.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
I heard Jay Williams talk about there were 8 Achilles tears this year.
Right, right.
And even though these athletes are more physical, more athletic, the speed and all that, but I've always thought that it's just too many games for the body to recuperate, no matter how old you are, because some of these kids are tearing their Achilles at a very young age. And
Very much so, Wally, and
it was
that's
just
because it's really the pressure of these young boys' bodies is starting at an earlier age.
oh,
You
that's
know,
true. That's true.
yeah, and when they get up
That's
there
true.
now, man, you got to know the when to say when, but there's so much money in the game now, Wally. I mean, 82 game, Wally, 82 games. That's
Yeah,
two
that's a lot of
seasons,
games.
but that's 2 seasons for us overseas.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's right.
That's right. 40 games,
But
man. Yeah.
I did want to mention that because I was so impressed with what Jay Williams was talking about.
Yeah.
And it's always these little things that you look at about the travel schedule and playing games like that. But on another note, I wanted to say him being the MVP of the league,
Hmm.
of the NBA Finals, is well rewarded because he did it all year, Coach. He averaged
Yeah.
30 and almost 10 assists all year, so he's very consistent. But when I saw their team, and I know I'm jumping here and there, but there are about 5 or 6 Canadians who are
Yeah.
playing in their finals.
That's
And their
right. That's right.
basketball now is global, but a lot of these top players, the most MVPs in the past 7 years are foreign players.
That's right. And you know where I
Jokic,
go with that, Wally. You know where
yeah,
I
yeah,
always go with that, man, because they are drilled at an early age. I'm talking about pros start at 16. Don't think these kids can't play, fans.
yeah,
Don't think they
that's
starting off.
true.
When I was overseas, they could start as soon as they hit that 16, they can go get a paycheck. But one of the
Yeah, that's
things they
right.
can do is they learn the basics. Wally is drilled in them, drilled in them.
Yeah,
They are so basically
fundamental.
sound in their learning and fundamental that they
Yeah,
are
that's true.
automatic. So therefore, they're basically sound automatically, Wally. So therefore, when they get the new learning trajectory of the NBA, these guys are already ready and sound to go. So therefore,
Yeah,
you got to look in the mirror for that one, Wally. You know,
yeah, that's true.
yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what's happening with sports because you look at
yeah,
the upcoming stars. They got the Frenchman Wibiyama. Now
yeah.
that's going to be a real unicorn when you talk about a guy that could handle, shoot, and play the way he plays at 7'3". So
At
it's
seven, eight.
it's new blood. It's new blood,
That's
and I'm
right.
loving it, Coach. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. And I think it's deserving of these foreign ball players because believe me, fans, I want you to really take this in here. Long time since we were playing the overseas. Then when I played, you couldn't have but 2 Americans on any team. But
That's
I,
true.
I can tell you this: they are students of this game as soon as they can put a basketball in their hands. You
Yeah, that's
know,
right.
and
Doncic.
they've been
I think
looking, they've
Doncic
been,
was a pro at 16, Coach. I think
that's right,
Doncic was a pro.
right,
16.
right. That's right.
I
And
hope
he was
he.
making just as much money as our rookies and then because you're talking about, of course, different euro currency and whatnot, but it's something to behold. And I think the creator that I was able to get both worlds, a little bit over here with a little bit of a razzmatazz with you in the league and with our ABA affiliation and my little pedigree, but most of us go Europe because I've seen it. Wally, I've seen how they progressed. All the questions, everything that's out there, they want to know everything about. Hey, what do you eat at night? Where y'all
Yeah.
going at? I mean, when you shoot, what's this thing about extension? They used to all these little questions. They wanted, and they were absorbing everything. And every time, they didn't have the weekly and all them games during that time, so they saw special games. When them games were played and replayed and all this stuff over while they were checking y'all out. when you was rolling with Milwaukee, you had guys checking you out along with Lucius Allen. They knew everybody, man. So it was an interesting situation. Yeah,
Askia said that he was here this weekend. We were talking
yeah,
about ball. You were right, quite correct. They only allowed two Americans in
yeah,
Venezuela,
yeah,
Brazil. He played in Spain,
yeah.
all of Cyprus, Dominican Republic, Mexico. So he gave me a feel of how the competition was. But he said one of the things in Spain was they were fundamentally sound. And one of the things about their big men, most of their big men could do the handle and rebound and
They
play
did
D.
that. That's what
They
they
did
taught,
it.
Wally.
They taught all phases. Now I'm hoping that Doncic will come back and play some defense because he's an outstanding player, but he wouldn't be rated during the playoffs. They attacked him and Reeves because of their
Right,
defensive deficiency.
right.
So I hope he comes back. I really like to see competition, coach. So I hope he comes back in good shape, first off,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I know a lot of guys, we talk about history, it's all about being in shape and condition and to play that both sides. I mean, when I talk about
right.
great teams, you got to play both ends. You're just not an offensive player. You got to play
Well,
both
the
ends.
greatest teams play 45 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's no such thing as when we were coming up, particularly in your vanguard years of the what we call the power regime of basketball is when you came up into it with the likes of the Eastern Jaga of basketball, Rucker Baker and all the Eastern leagues, Urban Coalition, all that. Rite of passage, hardcore basketball, high IQ basketball, knowing how to interact and communicate with your team to make it powerful and taking just as much pride in defense as you are in offense and making your offense compete off the defense. That is something they still ain't quite got right now, Wally. You know,
Well, that's why I like OKC, and that's how
yeah,
Boston won.
yeah, yeah. Boston,
Boston
yeah,
won.
yeah,
Russell, they played the defense and they
yeah,
ran them off the team. But you mentioned something about big men. The game was so different with guys like who I played with, Walt Bellamy, a 7-footer, Wilt Chamberlain, there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, there's Darryl Dawkins, Moses Malone, Bob Lanier. So they're the greatest centers ever. But the game was played from within.
yeah,
You put the
yeah.
ball in the hole. Now the game is guys are stopping for fast breaks and shooting three
And
pointers
shooting
instead of
jumpers
going.
now, yeah, 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 yeah.
And you wouldn't see a 7-footer Wilt of them shooting three pointers, Chuck, that Russell. So the
Oh
game
man,
has changed from in and out.
yeah,
Now
true.
it's out and in.
Out and in, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, oh
But
man.
it does take away from the idea of it, the nuance of the game, which is made to be played inside and out. It is a downstroke of the pedigree of the game because it does take the excitement of the little man being a little man and the big man being a big man. Because now
Yeah,
you got a big man
everybody.
trying to be a little man and a little
Yeah,
man trying to be a little man. You know?
well put. Well put, because all these big guys are outside shooting threes.
Yeah.
And I watched the summer league, and one of the things that I saw, and sometimes me and that kid was watching it,
Yeah.
they're not really running plays. They're running up shooting threes. And it's
Yeah.
just like a free for all AAU game where I like to see some
Absolutely.
structure and some plays. Some
Yeah.
teams were
Yeah.
cutting and using plays, but most of the time, Chuck, I saw them running up shooting threes. I said,
And,
wow, I want
and, and,
nobody to
and
get a
Wally,
basket.
and you know what, Wally? The worst part about that, they're learning to do something that's a dime a dozen now.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You
hey,
get what I'm
hey, hey.
saying? So therefore, if you ain't got something to stand out that's better than a 3-point shooting, and you ain't got no defense, you ain't got no real IQ skills, you don't know how to communicate with your ball players. Communication is everything on a basketball court
Yeah,
because it's so
yeah,
fast. So
yeah,
that's what you're missing into it, and that goes back to IQ. And you're talking about a young man. I want our fans to also realize this. We're talking about ball players that won't that 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 that, that won't impactful. of course, Michael was like Wally, but you talk about one. He's talking about the fans Askey, Wally's son, All-American, one of the greatest University of Kansas players ever. Went in the league and did what he needed to do, but also saw the value in international league ball. But this man is this well, he's man. I would say my boy. This Askey is what you call sound. He comes from that generation of his dad. He is a sound, fundamentally ball player, and he knows the difference between when to shoot, when not to shoot, when to play hard, and when to give the things to other teammates that will make you
Right.
make
Make
you
your other
more
teammates better.
that's
That's
right.
right,
And
Coach.
then you got a team because they got faith in you.
Yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta have
Gotta
make
have
your
it.
other teammates play.
And trust. That's absolutely
All
right,
right.
Max.
Well, look, I wanted to give you some updates because I know
Yeah,
you asked me
yeah,
about
yeah,
what's been happening
yeah.
because the junior NBA, and I was fortunate to have retired player connection. Oh, I hadn't talked to Antonio Davis, the new CEO, but I talked to Johnny Newman,
Yeah,
and he thinks he will do a good job. Him and I had a long talk, but what they did for our program, the Shoot for the Stars Institute in Washington, and not Washington, but in Philadelphia with the 76ers, was to help us do a education through sports program with PAL. And
right.
so Coach Hamilton and some of the City of Brotherly Love legends came out and we gave academic action plans and reading challenge, and the Sixers awarded those kids with good grades, good attendance, and good behavior tickets to the game. You were there doing a show. We've even had the Army there at Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club with
Yeah,
Director Wali Jones and Mr. Harris and Pooh Jackson. The Wizards allowed us to do the same program there with academic action plan, reading challenge, and they awarded tickets and memorabilia. So what I've been fortunate this summer, well, I'll be going back to Philly in a couple of weeks to award the kids that had good grades and good attendance at a summer camp with Coach
right.
Hamilton. And the Junior NBA supplied us with T-shirts and bags for the kids. So
That's
I
great,
wanted
man.
to alert
Yeah.
our listeners that our Shoot for the Stars and, as you said, our Genesis concerned athletes, we're still doing projects around Richmond, Virginia, and also Philadelphia. Just wanted
Right.
to alert our people that they were doing it. And I think I showed, or I sent Maxella a copy of what Julius Norman,
Yeah.
Raymond Lee, Good Hope, Joe Scott. These are former pros and college players from Virginia Beach. Julius Norman with the Housing Authority, where they're doing the program that we did years ago with Raz Brown, Pep Morris, and Ham
That much,
Anderson, and
yeah.
those guys. So I just wanted you to know that these young guys that we helped train in Virginia are carrying on the mission statement.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of them, Coach. Very proud.
Yeah, it's something to be desired because each of them was really impacted by concerned athletes in action, the genesis of everything that we do around the country and other parts of the world. But with these guys are the same typical type of guys that we had that have something in them to be able to come back and play it forward. And that's why
Yeah,
these guys are doing what they're doing, why they're so loved and respected, even when they were playing, is where they came up under the tutelage of an organization and a theory and a dream, or a concept, I should say, that make
that's
them
true. That's
what
right.
they are capable of being, not just on the court, but off the court, sports inside
Yeah,
and out.
they
Yeah,
really give back, Coach. I just
they
wanted you to
really do.
know, thinking about you. Also, Lonnie Blow, I wanted to make sure our listeners
Money blow,
understand one
that's
of our
right.
concerned athletes, Virginia Weston, won the CIAA with Virginia State, and he was also inducted into the Virginia Hall of Fame in Norfolk. And
Oh,
that just
good.
happened this year. I
Right.
had a
Is
contact
that
with
is that the
him.
Hampton Roads Hall of Fame? Black Hall
That
of Fame?
yes,
That's
yes, it is,
fantastic.
brother.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
deserved it too. So I just like to keep you updated on what guys are doing, and we're still
Absolutely,
trying to make
absolutely.
a difference. Still trying to make a difference. So,
Um,
anytime this platform comes up that I'd like to talk about what guys are doing all around the country. So
no
I
question
hope
about it,
everything is
Wally.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Well,
legacy,
I
you'll
talked
not
about
do,
you.
huh?
I said I was talking about you with Julius, and I was doing a show, a podcast
Hmm.
in Philadelphia, and I was talking about how you had uh, me at Heritage High School. Wasn't that in Hampton? Was that in
Yeah,
Hampton area?
Newport News,
Newport
Virginia, I
News.
think
I
it
was
was.
trying to
Yeah.
explain somebody. I did a show, and I said, "Yeah." Oh, I was talking to Johnny Newman, and I said, "Yeah, we did a show in Heritage High School, and Bobby Hunter came and did
Yeah.
a great job." And
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, coach is still involved in the community and in schools in the Tidewater area." I was trying to explain that to Johnny Newman, what was happening even at Norcom when we
Right.
were at Norcom in the spring. So
Right.
the first time I had talked to him in a year, that's why I had to explain to him how
Yeah.
we're still
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah. I talked to him. He's going to be very, with the new upcoming season and a new situation, not only with the YouTube channel, but Sky 4 television that we got now that's taking care of all of our content for the Sports Inside and Out at Legends of Sports, but also they have really gravitated and utilized the impact of the Shoot for the Star program, not just here, but the other TV stations, WCAV, CBS station they own in Charlottesville, the ones in Georgia, of course, and I think it's Alabama, Birmingham, outside of Austin, Texas, Fort Worth, and some of the other about 8 9 stations. We are going and broadening our base pretty much now, but the Sports Inside and Out YouTube channel now under the tutelage under the auspices, I should say, of a fantastic engineer and cameraman, Rodney Manor, and of course the great producer Kurt Simmons. We're able now to do some things now and ready to roll and really stream it out. I think that would be a good thing to say, Magdalena. But while we look forward for great things, because it starts in September, buddy. It's starting in
All right.
September.
Well,
We're gonna really kicking it in hard. Yeah.
keep me abreast,
Awesome.
but I appreciate the update. Thanks,
Yeah.
Maxella. And I hope
Yeah.
you guys enjoy the rest of the summer. I'm going to be doing a little traveling
Yeah.
in the next couple of weeks. So you guys take care and give me a
No
call
question. And
anytime.
I want all you listeners out there to pay attention. Subscribe. Hit subscribe on your YouTube channel and hit a like in there because that helps the algorithm to bring the greatest sports talk show for legends on line right now, streaming around the world. Sports Inside Out, Legends of Sports. This is a Wally Wonder show. Subscribe. That's right here. Subscribe. It's free, but it helps the algorithm for what we're doing to get out there. And please check us out on Sports Inside and Out on Sky 4 and all of the other streaming entities that we got with Spotify and all. So listen, thanks a lot for letting us be a part of your day. And listen, Jack, check this out now. We coming up a special with some WNBA. We're getting the girls back in. The WNBA season is really kicking, and we're gonna have some updates on that with the Wally Wonder Show as well. So listen,
All
let's
right.
talk about it.
All right, Coach.
Wally,
Thanks a
hey,
lot.
as always, Wally, when legends speak, everybody listen.
Everybody listen.
You gotta listen.
Everybody. All
Thanks for
right.
being fun.
Save
All
the
right.
children.